Anyone ever talk about when the Prophet ﷺ used to sit next to Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, and he would eat from the same plate as her? Where in Arab society that was considered as something bad for a husband, a man to eat on the same plate as a lady. He would sit down and eat with his wife, and not only eat with them, he would sit next to them and eat. And he would put a morsel in their mouth, and they would put a morsel in his mouth. And Aisha radiallahu anha says that one day I was eating with the Prophet ﷺ, and while I was eating with him, the Prophet ﷺ, he gave me a cup of water and I drank from there. And after I drank from there, I put the cup down. The Prophet ﷺ picked up that very same cup and he began to spin it. He was looking for my lip marks. And then he drank from the exact same place where I drank from. You want a Romeo, you want love, look at Muhammad ﷺ. He was a perfect, well-rounded man. And the Prophet ﷺ wasn't harsh and mean with his women. The Prophet ﷺ was having a dinner with two of his wives, right? Majma'u Zawaid. The Prophet ﷺ is having, that's a reference. The Prophet ﷺ is having a meal with two of his wives. And they're both eating. And one says to the other, you eat first. The second says, no, you eat first. She says to her, you eat first. She says, I don't care, no, you're going to eat first. So this one says, if you don't eat first, I'm going to put food on your face. And the Prophet ﷺ is sitting right where? He's sitting in the middle. And they're going off at each other, like firing each other down. Typical women. So one of them picks up some food and puts it on her face. She did it in front of the Prophet ﷺ. And the Prophet ﷺ, now this lady says, look, she just did put food on my face, tattletale. She just put food on my face right now. And the Prophet ﷺ, what did he do? He just moved his chest back. That's it. He just moved his chest back. And she took food and put it back on her face. وَجَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ سَيِّئَةٌ مِثْلُهَا. If someone does wrong to you, you have the right to do it back to them. Right? But that was the humor of the Prophet ﷺ. That's how he was with his family. He was always smiling, kathira tabassum. He was always smiling and laughing and joking. He's racing with Aisha radiallahu anha. When, how old is he at that time? He's over 55 years old, almost. Right? And some narration he was 53 years old. Right? He's returning back from a battle. He couldn't be 53 because that battle took place after the Battle of Badr. Right? He was over 55 years old and he's racing. Which 55-year-old man today can race his wife? Right? Without falling over with a heart attack. Let me add that clause. Who can do that today? No one can. The Prophet ﷺ was so humble that he lets her win. And then after a few years later, he says to Aisha, let's race again. And they race again. And the Prophet ﷺ beats Aisha radiallahu anha. And then he says to her, the first time I let you win too. Don't think you beat me. He was so humble. His wife Aisha radiallahu anha says, the Messenger of Allah, there's a street. They're playing sports in the streets. I want to go watch it. I want to go watch the game. The Prophet ﷺ, he stands at the door, and Aisha radiallahu anha, she gets on her tippy toes and she's peeking over the shoulder of the Prophet ﷺ. Imagine how beautiful that scene was. What a husband he was. She's standing there, and the hadith says, the Prophet ﷺ says that I had no interest in that game at all. What they were watching, it was like watching cricket. I had no interest. What are these guys doing, right? I'm watching these guys do this crazy thing here, and his wife is, but he's only standing there because his wife wants to watch him. Right? As Aisha radiallahu anha is watching, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is standing. We can give so many examples of how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam dealt with his wives and how he was a perfect husband. The wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam were amazed by him. They were amazed by his sublime character.